up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Tuesday evening to you all, December 10th, 2019. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. This is Betting with the Bag. We have a packed show here. We have our Maxwell Smart joining us with 12 minutes, and I know he's ready to fire away. And I have a couple additions that I have to make to my card. 12 NHL games capped, and I only made 2 moves, but I'm about to make 2 additions. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Paulo Marquez in the house, cashing with Benfica today. Great job, Paulo Marquez. Jeff Billings, here we go. Hawks money line plus 300. Simmons to hit a 3 at plus 625. Oh, wow. Simmons hit a 3. Sharks money line. Timo to score prop at plus 600. Carlson plus 375. And assist with Kane at plus 175. Couture at plus 175. And Timo Meyer at plus 140. Then Carolina puck line. God, I find that interesting. The Carolina puck line. With Aho at plus 350 to have 1 assist at plus 160. And Stechnikov at plus 340 with 1 assist. And Dougie Hamilton as well. Nice looking card. Deer Slayer Ski on the Stars tonight. I tried to get more information on that story. I can't get it yet. I was just doing the Audible. There's a ton of looks I have in NFL as well. Reese in the house. My guy Reese ready to go. Stack Wop. Ready to get that cash. Beat Fulton. Deer Slayer Ski, Jimmy Cece saying, what's good, Hustlers? Lillian Pumpernickel, Moses Saucedo, like in Northern Iowa, first half. I'd also like to tail the Taint play today on McNeese. I will be doing that soon, shortly. Freestyle Fakiri in the house. Rye Cape, Yenny Toon says, what a bummer on Ajax. Yeah, I did not like seeing. Not that I was on it, but Deer Slayer Ski says, wow, Stars up to minus 205 now. So glad to beat the market move. Great job. There's Lance Rose. There's a Sports Keg. Our guy, the Sports Keg, who I thought handled the NFL game beautifully last night with calm and precision. Baseball Bob in the house. New York Giants first half under. It was a casher. I did not take it. Work play today. Knicks plus 9. I've already got that copy and pasted. There's Robert Gilmore. There is Ron Lofton. Dan Kelly. I love it, Dan. Well, you richly deserved it. You earned it. Rico Roxas, Nick the Slick, John Lube in the house. You got J-Rock. Nasty Nate, Kanaska at PJ 00187 on an undercover cop. All right, let's get at it. First off, we'll quickly break down these looks. And then we'll get to my 2 additions. I only have 9 minutes to make these moves, so let's work quickly. Let's go to the best odds page on the planet, sportsbookreview.com, the SBR odds page. Here we go. Money lines and totals. 9 minutes till we're joined by Maxwell Smart, so we got to take advantage of this spot. Montreal, no 1.5 at Bovada. We got the 6.5. Those who roll with me, minus 113. Love it. The whole play, we're betting on Tristan Yari to be in goal. He was announced in net. 6s across the board. We got a 6.5. Feels like we're already cashing. That's what it feels like. Now, Mohamed Joma bullish on these Habs. And there's been a huge market move towards them. I hope those of you who are on the Habs, I hope you got in early. Open up minus 7. The Penguins opened up at minus 171. They're now minus 148. This Lightning game, if I could have gone back to the point last night where the under 6.5 was plus 117, I would have found that appealing. I'm off the Lightning Florida game. We broke that down pretty heavy on the early show. Blues, Sabres. This is a Sabres or no bet. And I don't want to have the Sabres without dialing in the lineup, although they're probably getting more comfortable with it. And the Blues have lost 2 straight. I don't want to get in the way of that. There's Trotwam, and now it's Red Girl ready to get to work. Gas Station Sushi Max bet on the Sixers first half and under first half in the Wizards. Wow. Very, very interesting. I'm going to copy and paste that. Our guy Gas Station Sushi sharing his hard work with us. This is what he does. He shares his hard work with us, and a huge asset to our family here. Okay, I'm going to keep rolling down the line here. Blues, Sabres, I'm off. It'd be Sabres or no bet. Sharks, Predators, uncomfortable with. Let's take a quick look at who is in net in that spot here. Sharks, Predators. I've got it. I apologize if I'm talking very fast, but we've got to get through this stuff before we are joined by our guy, Maxwell Smart. Sharks, Predators. Martin Jones, UC Saros. God, Jones is a bum. There's Fat Fist in the house. G-Sauce ready to get to work. Says, don't ever wear that hat in Chicago. Just saying, because I like you. All right. Okay. This Mariners hat, don't ever wear it in Chicago. All right, G-Sauce. I'm going to need more information on that. why an old school Mariners hat would be so despised in Chicago. Gonna need more info. If you could get me more info. But I got to stay focused here. Sharks Predators, I'm off. Wild -1. I got the -1 at +107. That was a money line at -150. If you wanted the money line right now, wow. Shit. Money coming in on the Ducks. Lance Rose liking that St. Louis Buffalo over. Red Wings Jets, I'm off. Brissois is god awful. The Red Wings are god awful. Put that together. I don't want a giant favorite, and I don't want the dog either. Devils Stars, those of you on the Stars after the coaching change, I'm still confused by the coaching change. I'm staying off of it. Hurricane, there's Sean Williams in the house. He's also on McNeese State. Ooh, I got to make a move on that. Taint and Sean, both on McNeese State. Thank you for sharing that, Sean. I am copying and pasting. I have all of Matt Randall's action, which I will be sharing with you guys shortly. Yes, I want the Oilers. Yes, I want the Hurricanes. But, there's been a market move towards the Oilers. Look, you have to be rewarded for taking road teams. And the Oilers are angry. I'm going to stay off that. But I can understand those of you who are on the Hurricanes. I'm going to stay off that. There we go. Then we have Flames, Coyotes. Yes, I'd like the Flames first period, but do I trust them? The answer is no. So I'd need a big plus line to score with if I was going to take the Flames, and I'm not getting it. So I'm going to take that lean off. Flames first period off, gone. Okay, Leafs, Canucks. Again, we need to be rewarded for road teams. I cannot take the Leafs as a favorite, 7-9-0 on the road, and I don't want to mess with the 6.5s. All right, then we get to the Vegas Knights. We broke this game down beautifully in the early show, and you guys were a huge help. AM was a huge help, himself a former goaltender. Marc-Andre Fleury back between the pipes after the death of his father, and the Knights are going to win for them. The Knights are going to win for Marc-Andre Fleury. They're also going to win because they lost 5-0 to the Rangers last out, and they outshot the Rangers badly in the first period, and we're down 2-0. I'm making two moves. I'm investing $400 on this game right now. Here we go. Well, not right now, but when the show is over, I'm going to make this investment on the Vegas Knights, and I rarely bet on them. All right, first spot, we're going to go first period on the Vegas Knights to come out flying. -0.5 at +130. That's at Pinnacle. Knights, first period, -0.5 at +130, going for a score. Then I will be on the -1 line, I guess. Let me just see what the spread is on Vegas here quickly. Should I go for 2+ spots? I'm going to go for 2+ spots. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get +133. +133. And that's available here at 5 dimes, +133. Is that what I should do, or should I go -1? Let me just quickly pump in the calculator and see exactly what it pays here. Okay, here we go. So let's just say it's -190 and +133, and that gives me a -125. No, I'm going for a score here. +133 is the -1.5. That's available at 5 dimes, and that's what I'm taking. So I'm on Knights first period -0.5 at +130, and then I'm on the Knights -1.5 at +133 full game. That's what I wanted to add in, but that's not all. These Los Angeles Kings, I want to add. I don't have faith in Lundqvist, and I don't have faith in the maturity of the youngest team in the NHL winning in Vegas and then going over to LA and handling themselves appropriately. I don't. I'm going to take the -1 line on the Kings. I'm going to get -120. That's available at Bet365 on the money line. -120 is the money line. And the puck line for the -1. Sorry, let me just put an asterisk here and a -1. Perfect. There we go. We have a -120 as the money line and the -1.5 here. The -1.5 puck line on these Los Angeles Kings. And to be honest, I love getting the 6.5 in Montreal, Pittsburgh. I don't know how it was a 6.5. I don't know how other people weren't like, oh, for sure, Yari's going to be in goal. +205 is -1.5 for the Kings. +205 going for a score. There. All right, going for scores. There. Makes me feel good. I love these last two bets. Love it. Absolutely love it. Dear Slayski says, may jump on the Wild. Also, more like a fate of the Ducks. Also, a belief in the Wild after losing 6-2. And Fatfist saying taking under 1.5 goals every period in every game. Fatfist does have a system. That he's using that with. Okay, so there we have it. Gondrepreneur in the house. Let's copy and paste Gondrepreneur, see how he does. There's my guy Chi-Town, sick with it in the house. Tim McCann says, Jets win. They probably win, but this is a team that's... Paul Maurice has just pressed the right buttons, and I don't want them with Bressois on goal. I don't want them as huge favorites with Bressois on goal. Lance Rhodes giving a Pitt score, 3-1 final. There's I'll get you next week in the house. He says, oh yeah, fade the Red Wings. And again, we went over it quickly. And I'm not going to make any additions on this NBA card. We're going to just take a quick look at them. But we went over it. We went over it on the early show. Corsi ratings. For Corsi ratings, the Detroit second line, that's because Mantha and Athanasiou are out of lineup, so take them out. The second line of the Red Wings is ranked 31st and last in the NHL among second lines. The third line is ranked 31st and last in the NHL among third lines. The fourth line is ranked 31st and last in the NHL among fourth lines. And their first line is ranked 20th, because of Larkin and Bertuzzi. Jeff Billing says, is there any prop plays you like that I'm on that you want to join me on going for giant scores? I have to... I'm not on any overs. So I'd have to. I copied and pasted your action, Jeff. So I'm gonna just go over it again. And I like your looks, and I like how you handle things. I think you're a great capper. But at this point, the big scores, I'm gonna go. I think the Knights are gonna put money in my pocket, and I think the Kings are gonna put money in my pocket tonight. That's how I think things are going to go. Noli No says, Jimmy, a Noli video. Sorry. We need a Noli video. Was there one sent? We need more Noli Knows videos. Did you send one? Love to know if you send one. There's Diego joining us right now. Diego coming just in time for Maxwell Smart. Just before we go to Maxwell Smart, let's take a quick look at this NBA card. I'm not making any additions. If I made an addition, it would be Charlotte Hornets early. The Hornets opened at +1.5. They're now at +2. They got read the riot act by Borrego after allowing 71 points in the second half at home against the Hawks. This is the final game of their homestand. Wizards have played better than I expected them to, and I'm not going to bother. Denver Nuggets at +5. That does sound appealing. 5.5 now. You know what? I may make a move on Denver, but I'd like to sit with a beverage after this show and go over if I want to add Denver and take some time with it. Atlanta, Miami, I'm off. New York, Portland, I'm off. I don't have a move on NBA right now. No says, no, I didn't, but I saw something on Twitter saying you had one today. Interesting. Okay, I don't know. I'll take a look at what's going on Twitter. Gas Station Sushi said, are the Red Wings a fate going forward? Sure. I mean, they have the worst roster in the NHL right now without Mantha and Athanasiou. But they're minus... they're huge dogs in all these games. So I don't know. I think the trick will be picking the time to start backing the Red Wings. Unless Yzerman says we got to get the number 1 overall pick because there's a beauty kid available right now. So I just don't know if there's value there. Gondrepreneur says, I'm going to create a Twitter and send you plays. People got to start putting respect on the Ganja's name. I love it, Gondrepreneur. And I forgot, I haven't followed AM yet. I just was very busy today. Okay, so that is my action. Nothing in NBA. But in NHL, I got great looks. Under 6.5, -113, down to 6. God, they played that Murray-Yari situation like a fiddle. Blue Sabres are off. So then my next action is the Wild -1. I made that bet last night. And then my additions, Vegas, first period, -0.5 for +130. Full game, -1.5 for +133. And the Kings on the -1 line, which is a nice, big, juicy plus spot for me. Those are my only looks. But with our next guest, I believe I will be adding action. It is time now for the great Maxwell Smart.
It wasn't until 2018 that the diamond in the rough went from hooligan to king of the world.
The guy couldn't play for shit, dog. He was awful. But can he cap? Guess he can.
Maxwell Smart, happy Tuesday evening to you. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Jim. Obviously, I'm watching a little bit of afternoon basketball, so that always enlightens and makes my life a little happier. Obviously, I wish I could have been on the show last night because it was a small slate, and I absolutely slaughtered it, like at a slaughterhouse when they kill a bunch of scared pigs for the act of consuming. So I do regret that, but hopefully I will be another slaughterhouse tonight, and we'll send our bookies to the slaughterhouse, the cock soup slaughterhouse, in fact.
That sounds like the type of slaughterhouse that we want to send our bookies at. Looking at official betting with the bag plays, I see a Coppin State here. I'm copying and pasting them now. I wish I had done it before, but our Audible went pretty much into this show. So getting your Coppin State right there. And then I see more official betting with the bag plays, Maryland, UConn, Princeton. So that is 4. Is that right? You have 4 plays locked in, and now we make additions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, beautiful. And we have the type of card that Max and I love because we're going to be able to touch on all of the games. Let's pull it up. The SBR, best odds page in the business. Let's get to this NCAA basketball card. Spreads and totals. Well, the first thing that jumps out at me is your backing Maryland here. Maryland opened up at -1. Now Penn State at -1 or -1.5. His total opened up at 144. Now we see 141.5 and 141. Max is on Maryland at a pick'em at -107, and the market is moving towards Penn State. Max, what do you think about this situation, and why are you backing Maryland here?
Yeah, this is a game where I see just a huge mismatch in the backcourt. You have Anthony Cowan, Mr. Shot Getter for Maryland, bringing his team back from deficits, elevating his team when they can't make a shot. I expect him in a Big Ten game tonight to be ready to rock and roll and rocking out with you-know-what out. And I think that Maryland is going to possibly get off to a slow start, which we've seen in pretty much all their games aside from their last game. And I think that continues tonight. But I do think that after Mark Turgeon gets into these guys' asses at halftime, I think that they're going to come out strong. I think that they're going to show the second half dominance that we've seen from this team. Maryland is a team where I think that they have incredible value in the second half. They are a great adjustment team. They are a championship caliber team, and we've seen that based on how they play against adversity. Coming back and winning that game against Illinois with those free throw makes was absolutely wonderful. I think that we get another game like that tonight. I think that it's close, but I do think that Maryland comes out and wins the game. The way that I'm playing it, Jim, you already have my official pick. I'm going to add Penn State first half, but I'm also going to advise all the low backers. Keep this game on your live menu, get it in your queue, and when that second half line comes out, you hammer Maryland, because Maryland, I'm telling you tonight, if they're down, they will be a second half play for me 100%.
And Moses Saucedo is right on that. He says Maryland starts slow. Can you ask Max if Penn State first half is a play? It certainly is a play. Wow. I love when Max goes first half on one side and full game on the other. Let me line shop first half Penn State for you. But before I do that, let me give a giant welcome to Lily Gunn in the house. Lily Gunn joining us, gets home from work and ready to cap with us. Lily Gunn, great to see you. Let's get this first half for Penn State. Penn State -0.5 at -110. Would you rather me look for a money line?
I'll take the money line.
All right.
Then it gives me the push factor.
It does. All right. Penn State money line and Bovada giving you a nice way killing. By far the best spot for you at -110. All right. We're adding Penn State. Those of you wondering about Max's record, I've been putting it in from the time that I've been away. I've almost caught up, and it's looking very good, by the way. It's looking very good. That will be up very soon, those of you asking about it. But don't you worry. The opportunity for us for honesty and transparency means everything. And Loshak is the reason why we're all together, and he's the one who led us to this spot of honesty and transparency, so don't worry about that. Penn State first half. This is Max's first edition on the money line at -110. All right, so Maryland pick'em, Penn State first half, doubling up there. The next question, because we're gonna be able to get to every game on this card, questions are gonna come in, and I'm not gonna be afraid to stop and pop. And the first question that came in was, damn, I thought that I copied and pasted it. But it was about, I think it was Louisville. Wasn't it Louisville? We're wondering why he's not on Louisville. Oh, yes. Don Corleone says he's not on Louisville. I need to know why, Jimmy, from our guy Don Corleone, says I need to know why he's not on number 1 ranked Louisville going up against. Here, let's move up. Sorry, get this, move over to full game and spreads and totals here. Number 1 ranked Louisville going up against Texas Tech tonight. And a demand to know why you are not on it. Let's find out. Why are you not on this spot, Max?
Well, it's not that I'm not on it. It's just that I'm holding out for a better line, but I don't think it's going to come, so I'm going to have to make a play on this game. I'm not going to be making a play on the total because I do think that this is a dead under game. I do think this game is going under. There's already been a 5-point move towards that, and I will not be giving you an official play on that. But I will be giving an official play is on Louisville first half. This is a neutral court game. This is going to be, I believe, at Madison Square Garden, and we know how Louisville plays in that building. Texas Tech is not playing Chris Beard defense. Chris Beard is literally losing minutes off his life every time he watches his team play defense. I'm sorry, this is not the type of Texas Tech team that I'm used to in the past couple years. Listen, TJ Holyfield and Chris Clark are great additions, but they aren't bringing the intangibles that we're needing. Jameis Ramsey, he has been out for the last 2 games. He is a game time decision today, and not one of these game time decisions where Vegas is trying to screw us. It's an actual game time decision. How he's going to look in warm-ups is going to determine whether or not he gets minutes. If he does get minutes, I think that it actually throws off Texas Tech's offense, which has been more efficient than I've used to. This is a team that's shooting 44% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, and 40% from the field and 30% from the three-point line, which is kind of strange. I think that Louisville definitely plays this pack line defense, which we have to be aware of. They are going to be able to get out transition. I just question whether or not Louisville has the offensive firepower to really make this game a wire-to-wire victory. I think it's going to be tighter in the second half. That's where I see Louisville having a little bit of a disadvantage. We've seen Texas Tech really adjust, be able to put up points in the second half. And I think that today, if I can get Louisville at -3 or better on the first half, I'll make it official for the show.
All right, let's get it. Sorry, Poker Addicted making me laugh. Okay, Louisville first half is what you are looking for?
Yes, sir.
All right, Louisville first half. Come on. My page is working a little slow right now. There we go. Okay, first half, Louisville, and -3.5 I can give you at -110. Pinnacle's -3.5 at -121. Are you okay with and Intertops just moved their -110 to -115. Are you comfortable with a -3.5 and -110?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'll take it just because I see this line moving up to 4. That's where I see it projecting right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Louisville, first half, -3.5, locked in. There's our guy, Trotwam, in the house. Okay, let's go to your Coppin State look, because it's been backed by quite a few people here in the chat. And Poker Addicted 79 says Coppin State covers everything. He uses Coppin State to fix roof leaks. They cover every goddamn thing, says Poker Addicted 79. And you as well are on Coppin State. Let's go to full game spreads and totals and find out why and what the market move has been on this Coppin State. Coppin State up against Davidson. Davidson opening up at -17.5, now 16.5 and 16. Why are you on Coppin State, and should we follow suit?
Yeah, Jim, this is a spot where I had to get on Coppin State. Coppin State's 9-1 ATS. They have outright won 3 out of their last 4 games as a dog. Couple of them being double-digit. What I'm seeing from this Juan Dixon team is they are playing like Juan Dixon would. You got 4 standout guards in Kamar McKnight, DeJuan Clayton, and the Robinson twins that are able to hoist up threes, push the ball in transition, get to the bucket, penetrate, and kick it out to the three-point line. That's how Juan Dixon played basketball. He would either drive, kick it out to the perimeter for a teammate, or he'd be accepting one of those passes or hitting it at the top of the circle. I think that tonight we're going to see Coppin State go up against probably one of their fiercest opponents when it comes to matchup-wise and what they do well versus what they don't do well. I think that Coppin State definitely thrives on being a volume three-point shooting team, but we've seen Davidson be able to play some lockdown three-point defense of their own. I think that's going to really come down to how the start is for Coppin State. We've seen in this game reminds me of the Nevada game where we had a whole bunch of confidence in Nevada going into Davidson, being able to cover the double digit number, and I have a similar feeling with this Coppin State game, but I cannot ignore what Coppin State has done on the road. Camargo Knights coming off a decent game, 6 for 13. They are playing a lot of minutes for these guards, but I think that in the end, I think Davidson is more of a slow it down type of team. I don't think they're playing the same kind of pace last year, and that's mainly because Keyshawn Pritchett has been out for the entire season so far. So I look for John Axel Gudmundsson to come back down to earth from his 28-point game that he had. And I think that Kellen Grady continues his shooting slump, and I think that Coppin State does not win the game by any stretch, but I do think that they stay within the number.
I am making a move on Coppin State with Max plus 16.5 at minus 109. Bob Lee Swagger saying Max looking spiffy tonight. Max looking spiffy tonight. Max is looking sharp. Sports Guy says, Max have a button down, or did I forget to take my meds? Shaft has questions coming in. So does Jeff Joseph. And we're going to get to your questions because we're going to talk about each and every game on this card. But I will copy and paste them just to ensure that we do. Copy and paste there. And a Shaft copy and paste there. And Raven in the Desert on the under 140. I'll come and ask Max about that spot as well. Deer Slayer Ski says, Max spitting straight fire. All right, let's keep rolling on this card. So I've tailed my first action, and that's Coppin State plus 16.5. By the way, I went 12-3 tailing Max last week, which I was very, very much needed. All right, the next spot is your Huskies. You like UConn. Teddy Covers likes UConn. This is the late game on the card. Indiana, UConn. UConn opening up at plus 2.5, now plus 1.5, and plus 2s. Market moving towards UConn Huskies. Tell us why you're on Connecticut, and should we join?
Well, I'll tell you why I'm on Connecticut, because Connecticut's just fucking fantastic. You know what? With this young buck, James Bouknight, being able to get out of his arrest for driving while he's intoxicated, well, he's back on the floor and he's doing what we thought he was going to do. Score the goddamn basketball in a variety of ways. And my UConn Huskies tonight, they're playing within the warm confines of Madison Square Garden. And if you watch UConn basketball, you know we've done some of our most prolific freaking victories in our program's history in Madison Square Garden, including the 2011 Big East tournament where Kemba Walker led us through that gauntlet all the way to national championship and won that shit. So tonight, obviously, I'm a little sentimental, and I think that this UConn team's just playing fantastic Coach Hurley basketball. They're defending on the perimeter. They have lots of guard depth. Josh Carlton's coming out. He's going to have his hands full tonight against Jackson Davis, Trace Jackson Davis, the freshman for Indiana. I am worried about Rob Finisi coming back for Indiana, but you know what? What I've seen from Indiana is they are ready to step it up at home with the home crowd behind them, with the warm confines, familiar rims, while they're stepping into a neutral court environment against a team that specializes in winning on that court. This is a team that's rewarded you aside from that St. Joe's game in UConn. I think that they continue to reward us tonight. I like them plus 2.5. I like them plus 1. I like them on the money line. My UConn Huskies take care of business tonight against the Indiana Hoosiers. I will point out this is a homer pick, but the stats back it up. The body of work backs it up. And when it comes to coaching, based on the personnel, I trust Coach Hurley over Coach Miller.
I like it. I like it. Thank you very much for the very kind words, Jeff Joseph. Sending love right back to you and Camilla, whom I had the pleasure of meeting at our Low Bag Summit of Champions. So did our man Max. So what a treat it is to roll with you and to roll with this whole Low Bag family. So thank you for those kind words, Jeff. My guy, Jaquan Foster, I will post them. But first, I'm going to roll with Max and Teddy Covers on Connecticut. I'm getting a plus 120 money line at 5 dimes, and I'm locking in UConn plus 120 at 5 dimes. Max is already on the UConn plus 2.5. Nutflush Jr. also in the house. Love that so much. I just love this so much. It just makes me so happy. Makes me so happy to see Nutflush and then Caden, his son, rolling with us. What a treat. And Max sending out winners in college basketball. The next spot Max is on is a total. It's a total. Let's move over to it right now. And it is this Princeton Monmouth total. And okay, that's the Arkansas Little Rock under is what Schaff was talking about. Okay, let's go to this Princeton Monmouth under. There's been very little movement. It opened at 138.5. It's still there. There's actually been a not really, because oh god, am I on Pinnacle openers? I got to move to 5 dimes. Tell us why you are on this Princeton Monmouth under, Max.
Yeah, so this is definitely a bit of a rivalry game, in my opinion. I think that when you play a team 3 years in a row and you have some very close games, I think that elevates it. I think that tonight, this is just a game where I don't see the tempo being pushed by either team. I think that Princeton has to worry about their defensive struggles, especially in the first half. When you're giving up 38 points, that's not copacetic in my mind. That's not good against a team like Monmouth, who can lock you down and keep you under 30. The way that I'm looking at this game is I just think that Monmouth is going to be able to lock down Princeton on offense and keep some of their offensive weapons out of the lane and keep them off the free throw line. And then also I think that with this Monmouth team, I just can't rely on Dion Hammond putting up close to 30 points a game and getting me an over. I think that with the tendencies of both these teams' tempos and personnel strengths and weaknesses, I think that taking the under on the opener was something that I just was very attracted to, like a lady of the night.
Slide that in there. So 5 dimes opened it at 139.5 at minus 110. So it has dropped a point here. Max got in at 138.5 at minus 110. And there is Noli Nose saying dead under. Ron Lofton on the Princeton game under 138.5 as well. And Poker Addict says Princeton Monmouth is riding a kangaroo. Paul Hogan going way down on Poker Addict. Poker Addict is running hot in the chat right now. Okay, I like it. I like it. Noli Nose says dead under. I have
actually one addition, though.
Oh, sorry. Say what, Max?
Monmouth first half is the play that I'm going to be making. I think that they have a significant first half advantage, and I'd like to double up on this game.
All right. First, I'm going to tail the Princeton under. Princeton under that Noli Knows is also approving. Let's go to this Princeton Monmouth under quickly here. Sorry, there's not that many games, and I'm saying not too much. Under 138 at minus 1, under 138.5. At minus, oh wow, at plus 100 at Intertops. Under 138.5 at plus 100 at Intertops. Lock that in and book it. Noli Knows says, fits the model, Jimmy. Jump in. The under is fine. It does feel fine. That's my third tail on this card right now. And that concludes what Max says. Oh, sorry, Max wanted the Monmouth first half. Okay, first half. Point spread on Monmouth. Let's see what we can offer, Max, here. Line shopping at sportsbookreview.com, the SBR odds page. Monmouth first half plus 3.5 is available at minus 110. How's that sound?
Sounds good, Jim.
All right.
Lock it in for me.
Max is locking in Monmouth first half plus 3.5 at minus 110. All right, so those are all the spots that Max wanted to lock in before the show started and the additions that he's made so far. We have questions coming in, but Max, is it cool if we just start going right down the order of games?
Yeah, Jim, I'm down for whatever the chat wants to do. Definitely want to throw a shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys coming in, watching Jim and I go to work today, and hopefully we can send you a bunch of winners, and you can go and put down payments on new Winnebagos.
I love it. It feels good. Let's let, and I copied and pasted it, Slugger Cards for Life lead us into this next spot, because this is a correlated capping that Slugger Cards for Life is on with Teddy Covers. Slugger Cards for Life says the battle for Philly tonight. The series is always close and usually never a blowout. Do you take the double digits and count on history? That the battle to be close. That's St. Joe's Temple. St. Joe's Temple. Let's go to full game spreads and totals here. St. Joe's opened at 12.5, I believe, but it's moving kind of slow. Oh, I'm still in first half. Come on. Let's move. There's Ryan Kozlowski joining us. Love seeing that. St. Joe's Temple opened at minus 14. Wow. A huge move towards St. Joseph's. It was given a plus 12.5 by Teddy Covers on the early show. Temple opening up at minus 14. Now they're minus 10.5 at Pinnacle. It's total 145.5. Now 147.5. Max, St. Joe's Temple.
Yeah, this is a game where I'm not going to have a pick either way. I'm not even making a bet on this game. Simply, I'm looking at it like this. If you can stop Ryan Daly, then Temple can win by double digits. If you can't stop Ryan Daly, then you can't win this game by double digits. This is a guy that is thick. He handles the ball. He can bully his way to the bucket. He can make free throws. He can hit a three-point shot. He is their main offensive weapon. If you can shut him down, you shut St. Joe's down. It's pretty basic. In my mind, Temple doesn't have the type of pace and the type of killer instinct that you need to cover these types of numbers in these high emotional rivalry type games. I think that the only way to look at it is St. Joe's. I think that if you're taking it now, you are playing with fire. The number opened at 15 when I saw it last night, Jim. And when you see that type of line movement, and you take the ass end of the line, well, you're not going to win, in my opinion, at a plus even percentage. So
you're absolutely right.
I hate to avoid it because I want to get on St. Joe's, but I missed the line. Nothing I can do about that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Shelby Richards, though, says Temple blows them out. We shall see. Okay, let's keep rolling down the order. Those of you who want to roll with us, just go to the NCAA basketball page. Not today's page, but just NCAA basketball at sportsbookreview.com, the SBR odds page. Next up, Brown, St. John's, and we get to Schaff. Our guy Schaff's shut your mouth play of the day that's sitting 2-1 right now. He's on St. John's minus 11, and St. John's opened up at minus 12.5 and is now down to 10.5 at Pinnacle. This total opened up at 148, now 149. Brown, St. John's, take it away, Max.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I would have been looking at Brown in this spot, but with the emergence and the availability now of Rasheem Dunn, the Cleveland State transfer, I watched that St. John's game versus West Virginia. I saw the perseverance. I saw the defensive intensity. And this team looks like they're trying to climb. With LJ Figueroa and Mustafa Heron, you had a good starting point to build on this team during the season. But now with the emergence of Rasheem Dunn, I'm liking them a hell of a lot more. I think that Rasheem Dunn brings a good sense of ball handling, understands what the score is and what the team needs at the time. If you're in a scoring drought, I can guarantee when the ball's in his goddamn hand, he's taking it to the bucket, he's trying to get to the line. That's the type of offense I want to see. I don't want to see a guy just hanging out on the three-point line and trying and hoping that a prayer that it's going to go in. I think against this Brown team, they're going to have their hands full. I think obviously with the game being played at Carnesca Arena, you don't have the same kind of intensity and sight lines that you do at Madison Square Garden, where St. John's is fantastic. I think tonight Brown has a first half advantage. I think that with a guy like Zach Hunsaker, who can come off the bench or start in the lineup and give you 3-point shots consistently, that elevates what Brandon Gonzalez and Tamming Chow can do. I think with Brown, their issue is getting to the free throw line, where they are quite above average. This is a team that can shoot 73 to 77% on an average game at the free throw line. They get on the offensive glass. They're getting 11 offensive rebounds a game. My issue is what happens on those turnovers. If they're committing 15 to 17 turnovers a game, how many points is St. John's going to be able to score off that? And that's where I have trouble getting on Brown in the full game. As far as official show picks, I'm not going to make on this game. What I bet so far is Brown first half and St. John's full game, but it's not something I feel comfortable or confident enough to give you guys with such an emotional game that St. John's just played against West Virginia.
This is a great breakdown. Very interesting breakdown here. Let's keep rolling along. No addition there from Max. The next spot is Detroit Mercy, Notre Dame. Of interest, our Raven in the Desert spectacular capper is on the under 145 in this spot. Detroit Mercy, Notre Dame. This market move opened at 143 at 5 dimes, up to 145.5 there, up to 146.5 at Pinnacle. Pinnacle pushing this up and up and up. Notre Dame 20-point favorites at Pinnacle, 19.5 everywhere else. Detroit Mercy, Notre Dame. Max, take it away.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game because Detroit's getting back B.J. Maxwell, who is the, I believe he went to Albany and Christian. And he's coming back. He obviously played a couple minutes in the last Detroit Mercy game. He only had 2 points. He didn't shoot well from the field. I think in a couple games, him and Antoine Davis are going to be a very hard double-digit spread to beat when it comes to conference play in the Horizon League. The one thing I will say for Detroit is they do have some great free throw shooting going on right now, but that's Antoine Davis handling the ball and shooting the ball the most. He's still shooting under 30% from the three-point line, which is kind of unheard of considering how many points a game he's averaging and what kind of volume he's shooting. Obviously, this Detroit team with Brad Calipari in the fold relies a lot on three-point volume shooting. That's their only way of staying in this game tonight. I think that Notre Dame is going to be able to lock down on defense. I think the game against Boston College was a real slap in the face and a real wake-up call for them. I hope that Mike Bray has them ready to go. I think that Notre Dame has the first half advantage about 11 points. And I'm actually going to be looking to double up on them. I think that I get a consistent 40 minutes from Notre Dame. I think that the three-point defense is on point. I think that they do a great job of distributing the ball, 16 assists a game, and protect the rim. So protect the rim from penetration from Antoine Davis. Try not to foul him. Force him into bad shots. I think Notre Dame, this is their type of game. I'm going to take Notre Dame first half and full game, Chip.
Wow, a double up, a Notre Dame double up from our man Maxwell Smart here. A double up from Notre Dame. First half coming in right now. The first half, I can give you minus 11 at minus 108. How's that sound?
Yep, that works for me.
Minus 11 at minus 108. That's Notre Dame first half. And then Notre Dame full game here. Notre Dame full game. And what are we getting full game here? Let's find out right now. Notre Dame full game. Here we go. Minus 19.5 at minus 105 at Bookmaker. Minus 19.5 at minus 105 at Bookmaker. And we are going to keep rolling right along. Lucky Lefty, our man, Sportsman of the Year, says Detroit Mercy can score. Farsha Sammy said, Jimmy, can you review all your picks anytime you get a chance? I'm not on anything in NBA. I've stayed off NBA, although I do find the Hornets early a little appealing, but I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger. And those are my NHL looks. Wild -1, under 6.5 Montreal, Pittsburgh. Knights first period, -0.5 at plus 130. Knights -1.5 at plus 133. And the Kings -1 for a big score. The puck line's 205. I believe the money line's like minus 120. Shaft says Notre Dame needs a statement win. I'm on the under as well. Red Girl wanted to talk about Nevada. We will get there. The next spot on the card we've already talked about. It's Louisville, Texas Tech, and you're on Louisville first half. Very quickly, Jeff wants to know if you're going to be pulling the trigger on the full game as well.
No, I'm not.
Okay, there we go. There's Young OG 23. Nice to see Young OG joining us. Fahad Naeem as well. The Lowbaggers, the team is coming together. Okay, next up, and we're just going down the list here on this NCAA basketball card on the best odds page in the business, Sportsbook review. And thank you to Baseball Bob. I will pronounce this right. Albany up against Boston College. And we had a question about Boston College from Ron Crawford. Oh, no, Ron Crawford's on Boston College. Jeff Joseph says, Jimmy, ask Max if there's any love for Boston College. Albany, Boston College. Boston College opening up -6. They're now 7.5 at Pinnacle, 7 at 5 dimes. This total opened up at 133.5, now at 134. Max, take it away. Albany, Boston College.
Yeah, this is a game where I think that Boston College is set up for the wet up. I'm not betting this game either way, but if I were betting this game, I'd be taking Albany. Albany, whatever you want to frickin' pronounce it. Obviously, I don't pronounce things very well. I'm Canadian. But Albany, for me, is Cameron Healy, the Aussie or New Zealand guy, whatever the hell you want to call him. He is the main catalyst for this team. I think that obviously coming off a really nice 15 for 11 game, that's going to be imperative for him to be able to continue that. Ahmad Clark, they both have to have good games in the same game, and then Anthony Rizzuto, he's the X factor for them. If he can get his 3-point shot off, we saw what he did against American. He can do that against Boston College. For Boston College, listen, like they're not lacking without having Nick Popovich and Winston Tabbs in the lineup. We've seen Derek Thornton finally reach the freaking Langston mountaintops that we thought he would when he started up at Duke. My main thing for Boston College is what you're going to get out of Jay Heath. Jay Heath's averaging 13 points a game. He's giving you 3.5 rebounds. He's 6'3" guard, little skinny, can be backed down. But I think that his scoring ability is definitely going to be front and foremost in this game if Boston College is going to cover. This is the typical letdown spot for Boston College. I do respect a lot of cappers that are on the Eagles tonight. I won't be making an official pick, but if I do see something live and Boston College falls behind, well, make sure you check out my Twitter page because I'll be posting a live money line that will cash tonight.
I love it. There we go. And we got to keep rolling. We got to be fast. Raven in the Desert also on Boston College. Brian Arpin says Coppin State now +15. And I haven't bet it yet. I've just made an official play on the show, and I find that extremely irritating. But that's how it works. Okay, let's keep rolling. Next up, Stony Brook Hofstra. Hofstra opening up at -5.5. A 2-point move towards Stony Brook. And speaking of Stony Brook, we know that some of our cappers are on them. And is that Sean Williams? Let me get up here and take a look at Stony Brook. Yes, Sean Williams backing Stony Brook. Stony Brook at +4. And now you can only get +3.5 or +3. Take it away, Max. Is there a move to make here, Stony Brook Hofstra?
Well, I already sent to my guys the over 140 this morning. This is a spot where it's a rivalry game. This is a game where Hofstra and Stony Brook have been going back and forth. Hofstra's been dominating the last 3 years, but guess what? It was because of Justin Wright Foreman, and guess who's not there anymore? Justin Wright Foreman. The other issue for Hofstra tonight is, well, Jalen Ray has an ankle injury. He definitely showed that ankle injury in the last game that they played. He went 1 for 10. He played 34 minutes. So there is an issue there. Obviously, Hofstra, by the numbers, has a significant first half advantage. They shoot 81% from the free throw line. They make 17 of them a game. They keep the turnovers down. They're really good at picking pockets, and that's going to put a lot more pressure on Eli Pemberton and Tariq Coburn tonight. The way that I'm looking to play this game is I already have an over, which I'm not going to make official for the show because it's at 143.5. I will say this. Be on the lookout for a live line because Stony Brook is one of the better second half teams in mid-major basketball. This is a team that shoots 3-point shots, and when they shoot them, it's their friend. They make 41% of them. They make 10 a game. Elijah Olani's coming off a 30-7 game, coming off the bench. That is great for change of pace type of score, and in this type of game, they're going to need that type of element in order to beat Hofstra on their home floor. I think that there's major revenge for Stony Brook tonight. I look for Stony Brook to outright win this goddamn game.
Wow. And so not making a move at this point, but why are you not taking the over as an official play here?
Because it's moved 3.5 points from where I bet it, and I'm not taking Stony Brook because I've already lost 2 to 2.5 points of value on the opening line.
But I have a 143 here available at Bookmaker. What?
I got it 140, Jim.
Oh, at 140. Okay, my mistake. Sorry, I thought. Oh, absolutely. No, that makes perfect sense. Okay, let's keep rolling along. Very quickly, though, we have a question that's popped in from our guy, Robbie Tagaloa, the Samoan Thunder. And we got to speed up our pace a little bit, Maxie. Robbie Tagaloa says, Jimmy, ask Max about the total in Coppin Davidson game. Robbie Tagaloa leaning toward the under. That's open at 149. Is all the way down to 146 at 5 times. 147.5 at bookmaker, between 146.5 and 147 at the other books. What do you think of the under in Coppin State, Davidson?
Yeah, pretty simple, Robbie. I liked it at 149. You're losing a lot of value with that 3-point. That bucket can make a difference or cannot. But what we've seen from totals they are either landing 5 points above or 5 points below. I think you're still in a good spot to take it. From my perspective and from my personal accounts, I'm not going to bet it just because I missed the best of the number and my edge is gone. But I do think that the game goes under. I just don't feel strongly or confidently enough to recommend it to all of you guys and to put my own money on it.
I love it. And there's our guy D Money in the house joining us. Next up, UMBC Towson. Towson opening up at -9.5, now -8.5 across the board. This total at 127.5. Now 127.5, 127 or 128, Max. UMBC Towson.
Yeah, without Darnell Rogers for UMBC, there's a lot more pressure on KJ Jackson to LJ Owens, the William & Mary transfer, to play heavy minutes. I think that's going to have a negative fact on their bottom line. This is a very leaky defensive UMBC team. We had seen them play very tight defense, but obviously when you're playing against a team like Florida Gulf Coast, you can hold them to under 65 points. I don't think they're going to have the same ability tonight against Towson. The number scares me from a full game perspective. I've already bet it. But the play that I want to make for the first for this show is actually Towson first half. This is a Towson team that has a scoring defense under 65 points a game. They hit 72% of their free throws. There's a 200 rank difference between these two teams in free throw shooting. I think that's going to determine whether or not I cover the full game. I think that Brian Fobbs is coming off a couple bad shooting performances, but he can be picked up by Nicholas Timberlake and Alan Bertrand in the backcourt. Towson has to get on the offensive glass, get those second chance opportunities, limit turnovers, and I think that they have a 5-7 point first half advantage. I'll take Towson first half, please, Jim.
Towson first half, I can give you -5 at +101. That's available at Pinnacle. How does that sound?
Giddy up, Jim.
Towson, okay, we have another edition of Max's card. It is Towson first half -5 at +101. And we are going to keep rolling, moving back to full game spreads and totals here on the Sportsbook Review odds page. We've already talked Coppin State, Davidson. Now we get to Tennessee, Arkansas, Little Rock. And this must have been a play that you didn't make official. Shaft, who following you on Twitter, says, can you please ask Max why he went against me and took Arkansas Little Rock under? I would love to hear his breakdown. Tennessee State, Arkansas Little Rock. Arkansas Little Rock opening up at -6.5. They're now 4.5. A 2-point move over to Tennessee State. This total's dropped from 136.5 all the way down to 132.5. Max, take it away. Tennessee State, Arkansas Little Rock, and please touch on the total.
Okay, so first off, on the total, Jim, this is how I looked at it. The team that you think will win this game will have their tempo played in more of this game. I think Tennessee State's been good, but both teams shoot under 70% from the free throw line. Both can hold opponents under 40% from the field, and the number got steamed from 132 to 137. That's why I jumped on the under. I was reacting to line movement based on my edges that I thought that I had an assumed value in. Now that I've seen it come back down to 133 in the 132.5 range, I'm having second guesses, and I'm glad I didn't make the pick official for the show. This is the pick that I could very easily buy off of or try and live buy myself off of. As far as the side, missed the best number at Tennessee State. I think Tennessee State has a good chance of winning the first half. That's where I see them having a better advantage. I think that Arkansas Little Rock at home with their style of competition and having Marquise Noel as your standout guard, averaging 19 points a game and shooting 87% from the free throw line, I think that will be the difference in the second half. What I'm going to do for this game in the first half and for the show official record is going to take Tennessee State money line first half, Jim. So what juicy price can you give me on that?
Let's do that right now. And yeah, Paulo, the market move towards the Ducks is just because Kokkinen is in goal, not Staylock. And from what I've seen of this kid, I mean, I know Staylock's just sort of a journeyman. I'd rather have Kokkinen right now. All right, we're going first half money line. That was, Max?
Yes, sir.
First half money line for a big score. I can give you a plus 155. That's available at UWager and 5 dimes.
Send it on like I need a cream cheese sandwich.
All right, a delicious cream cheese sandwich. Tennessee State first half money line is being added by Max, jumping on a big plus 155 spot. Let's keep this rolling and keep the speed up right now. And lick balls in the house. Love seeing that. Thank you for joining us. And Sportsman of the Year on Tennessee State first half plus 6. Next spot on this card comes to the Taint Play of the Day. McNeese State. Taint Play of the Day. Sean Williams on McNeese State. And I would like to jump with them. Let's go to full game spreads and totals here in this McNeese State spot. Going up against Kansas City. Man, I should have jumped in earlier, but I think it's still fine. Open up at a pick'em, now minus 1.5. Pinnacle at minus 2.5. Should I make a move on McNeese State? Are you making a move on McNeese State?
Yeah, I'm on McNeese State. I got them at a pick'em earlier today. This is how I look at it, Jim. Drew Cuxhausen, he is a junior college transfer that's come in. He has just drilled it from the three-point range at home. This is a guy that has hit, I think he's 9th in the nation in three-point shooting percentage. He's hit 40 of 79 from the season, and he's hit 18 of 32 at home. He's averaged 20 points per game in all 3 home games. I think he's the difference maker in what was missing last year. This is a revenge game. KC beat McNeese State by 13. This is an intergeographical game, so they want revenge. They got revenge. They're going to get revenge tonight. Give me Shamarcus Kennedy. Give me guys like Roy Dell Brown. And I think that they're going to be able to stop Rod Whitfield and Jordan Giles. There's no Xavier Bishop to hit a three-point shot at the end or really propel the offense into a freaking nice run. And I think that McNeese State's played one of the toughest schedules in the nation. And I think they're going to be rewarded at home tonight versus an intergeographical rival. And I think that they win this game. I think that they win this game by 1.5. I think they win this game at pick'em. I think they win this game at 2.5. So whatever you want to take, Jim, jump on it.
I have jumped on it, but you have not made it an official play. Do you want it?
Yeah, I'll make an official play if I can get 1.5.
You can get 1.5. You can get McNeese State minus 1.5 at minus 110. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me, bud.
Max locking that in. Let's keep rolling right now. Next we have Kansas is 26-point favorites. Giant favorites over Milwaukee. It's been stuck at 26. This total's been stuck at 138. Should we make a move on Milwaukee, Kansas?
Yeah, Jim, this is a big dirty pass for me. This is a game where I think that due to kids having finals, don't know about the motivation for this Kansas Jayhawk team to beat a team by 30 points. I've watched Milwaukee with Darius Roy. You always have a guy that can score a buck when you need one. I think tonight this is a perfect stay-away spot for me, and if anything looks good, I will tweet it and make a live play.
Next spot on the card, Green Bay, UCF. UCF opening up at minus 10.5, now 9.5, a 9 at UWager. Money coming in on Green Bay. They total open up at 158. Now we have 157 at Pinnacle, 157.5 everywhere else. Actually, at 157 at Bet365 as well. Take it away, Max. Green Bay, UCF.
Yeah, Jim, this is an interesting spot for UCF. They're playing one of the worst defensive teams in the nation. UCF shoots 44% from the field and 31% from the three-point line. I expect both of those statistics to be elevated after playing Green Bay tonight. I think that there is a 6 to 9 point first half advantage for UCF. That is the play that I'm going to make for the show. I will say, however, I do agree with my friend Joe Ranieri on the over in this game. I think UCF has been a team that has been a dead under team when you see them in the low 150s so far this season. But I do think that with this type of competition tonight against Wisconsin Green Bay with guys like with Hankerson Jr. and Shilton McLeod, I think that these guys are definitely going to want to speed the tempo up. I think that UCF is a little flimsy with the ball, but I do think that they have some advantages when it comes to the lineup. I think that Cesar De Jesus is the X factor in this game. We've seen him be the all-around type player that we expected 2 years ago. I think that Dre Fuller, he's going to play a big impact in this game defensively. He's the steal guy. He's the guy that plays on-ball defense on the best guard in the backcourt. And I think Colin Smith at 6'11", he's going to protect the rim against guys like Cody Schwartz. And I think that Central Florida has advantages all throughout the lineup. They're balanced scoring, and I think the first half is the play that I'll make. What number can you give me, Jim?
I will. And Eden's also on UCF first half -5.5. There's Gung Gung's Time Machine in the house. What a treat it is to have him back in action. Oh, what a treat it is. Gung Gung's Time Machine joining us. And Dan Kelly, first quarter Atlanta +3. Every time Dan Kelly makes a play, my eyes shoot up like that as if I need to tail right away. UCF first half is what you are looking for, Max?
Yes, please.
All right. And are you also going to make a move on the total, or is this the only play you're going to be making is UCF first half?
Yeah, just UCF first half for the show.
All right, here we go. UCF first half. We have a -5.5. Can we get you a 5? We can at Bookmaker. -5 at -115 or -5.5 at -104. Your choice.
I'll take -5 at -115 and get the push element.
And you will get it. UCF first half, -5 at -115 for Max. And we are making good time. We are going to be able to cap every single game on this NCAA card thanks to the precision and excellence of Maxwell Smart. Next spot on the card, Grambling State, Louisiana Monroe. Louisiana Monroe opening up at -7.5. Now 8 at Pinnacle, 8.5 at 5 times in Bookmaker, but 8 actually at all the other books. This total opened up at 137, now 138.5 or 139. Max, Grambling State, Louisiana Monroe. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is a spot where I just don't have a play on. I liked Grambling on the spread, but didn't like it enough to pull the trigger. There is a hell of a lot of money and tickets coming on ULM, so there is a chance that I get on it later, but at this point I'm not ready to make a play on it. And as far as the total, I'm only looking over, I'm looking nothing. I think that we've seen Louisiana Monroe struggle to score points, but I think that you have to take that with a grain of salt based on the competition that they played. I think also head-to-head, these teams have played 3 years in a row, and ULM's dominated all 3 games, where there hasn't been a margin that's been quite close. Well, actually, there was a 2-point game. But I think that ULM definitely is going to have to be on their toes tonight. And I think that if you're going to be playing this game, you got to play the dog that has some revenge. And ULM is definitely less potent offensively than they have been the last couple of years.
Raven in the desert on Grambling. Are you going to make an official play on this game?
No, I'm not.
And there's our guy, Tackman Clan Killer 187 joining us. Thank you for thinking about me, my friend. And I am doing better and just very, very thankful to roll with you guys. Tackman Clan Killer 187 in the house. Next spot on the card is the game that Red Girl wanted to talk about, Nevada BYU. We already know that Teddy Covers is on BYU. Red Girl thinking about making a move on Nevada. BYU opening up at -7.5. They're at 8 at Pinnacle, 8.5 with a couple other books. This total open at 153.5. It's still there at 5 times, but Pinnacle's dropped it down to 152.5. Bookmaker has it up at 154. Max, Nevada, BYU.
Yeah, this is a real interesting game. I obviously have a little bit of allegiance towards Nevada, but obviously with Coach Alford there, that went out the goddamn window. What we're going to get from this BYU team is a lot of question marks. Fact is, Yoeli Child is back. 8-game suspension, and it's over. Comes back, plays 23 minutes, has a double-double. I'm looking for his minutes to go up, but then I'm worried about how it affects the continuity and on-court chemistry that already exists between guys like Alex Barcelo, the Arizona transfer, Jake Toulson, and TJ Hodges. I think tonight this is a game that gives me a little bit of fear because we saw what happened to Nevada last time they were in this type of situation. They went into Davidson and got their asses handed to them. They got paddled, a cock soup paddle. Tonight, I think that they learned their lesson. I think that they've evolved, and I think that there's going to be less dominant front court play to hinder them. I think that tonight, the way that Jalen Harris has been playing, the way that Jazz Johnson and Lindsey Drew have been the Robin to Batman, I think tonight Nevada reverses their mistake against Davidson on the East Coast. I think against BYU, a team that's working one of their best players back into the lineup, this may be a point or two too much. I respect everybody that's on the other side. I just got to go with what I've seen, what the numbers tell me, where I perceive the odds and value to be on this number, and that's with Nevada. So let's go Wolfpack. We're going to be chasing some freaking Mormons through the freaking desert.
Are you making Nevada an official play?
Hell yeah. Let's go Red Girl. Lock it in, girl.
Wow. So we have Max and Red Girl going heads up with Teddy covers here. Nevada, BYU. Let's see what we have here. Nevada opening up at +7.5. Wow. Up to +9 at Heritage. How does a +9 at -105 sound?
+9 works for me. I'll take that number.
+9. There we go. So we have Nevada +9 at -105. Oh, Margie Lennon says, what's your feel-good bet today, please? Oh, want a feel-good bet today? It is the Vegas Knights. Coming off a 5-0 loss. Marc-Andre Fleury coming back after the death of his father. You don't think these boys are going to step up for him? Now, he does want to have a game under his belt before he plays the Penguins on Thursday night. But the Knights -1.5 over the Blackhawks, +130 around there. That Omar J. Legend will be the play that I think that you should hammer. Nolino says, I like the hat, Max. I think I'm going to have to ask Santa for one. All right, next up, after the Nevada spot, Northern Iowa up against Colorado. We've heard from our guy Shelby Richards that he's on Northern Iowa +9.5. Colorado, 24th ranked at home, opening up at 9.5, staying at 9.5. What do you think of this spot? And do you have a move in store for us? Northern Iowa, Colorado.
Yeah, obviously this is one of the popular dogs of the night, but you got to take into consideration what the body of work has been at home by this Colorado team. And what they've done at home is cover spreads. I expect them to do that tonight. I expect Northern Iowa to not be able to keep up with the offensive weapons that this Colorado team has, and they have a variety of them. I think that some of my favorite weapons for Colorado is the junior college transfer, now second-year Colorado buff, Shane Gatling. I'm really impressed with how he shot the ball from the free throw line. Obviously, the three-point shot is not there this year, but this is a team that has a lot of balance. You know, there's a lot of different guys can score the basketball for this Colorado team, and I think that Tyler Bay, with his 41% three-point shooting, and McKinley Wright, who came back, is your a prototypical point guard that you want running your team, taking you to a tournament. I think Colorado's a spot. Colorado's in a rebound spot, coming off that tough game against Kansas. I think they come home. I think that they get right against Northern Iowa. I think they speed Northern Iowa up, and I think that AJ Green has problems, along with Matt Heidemann, keeping up with the offensive weapons of Colorado. So Colorado's a play for me. I'm not going to make it official on the show, but look out for a tweet later if you're looking to bet and you still haven't done so.
All right. And those of you who don't follow Max on Twitter, it's a mistake. Have him rolling. Gondrepreneur says you have your message disabled on Twitter. No, not at all. It's if I don't follow you right now, you have to follow each other so that you can message. So that must be the problem, because I message with all the low baggers all day. Okay, let's move on to the next spot, Max, and we're almost done. We have 2 games left to break down this entire card. You've done spectacular. But we've already hit Indiana, Connecticut, so we just have. Oh, of course, 3 games. Thank you. Yeah, South Dakota State. Sorry, I got ahead of that because I saw Colorado twice. South Dakota State, Colorado State. Colorado State opening up at -7. They're still there. This total at 144.5. It's still there. No market movement on this game. South Dakota State, Colorado State. Max, take it away.
Yeah, this is square, but it's Colorado State or pass for me. With Colorado State, with Nico Cavarcho, Chris Martin, Adam Thistlewood, you have good inside-outside offense. You have 3 guys that will penetrate, run with the ball in transition, get to the free throw line, and make free throws. Obviously, Nico Cavarcho makes less of them, but he's a difference maker, and a lot of teams can't practice or replicate what he does on film. I think that Dwight Wilson's going to have a tough time tonight shooting the basketball and getting his rebounds. And I think that it's going to come down to guys like Alex Arians. Alex Arians has been a freaking ghost for this South Dakota State team. I thought that he was going to be a difference maker. He has not so far this year. I think that this is a game that Colorado State has to really throw away to lose and not cover. I don't think that they do that. I look for Colorado State to win this game and win this game convincingly, so I'll take the -7, Jim.
-7 at -108. Oh, no. Yeah, that's the 7.5. That's at 105. -7 at -108. That's available at 5 dimes. Here we go. Colorado State Rams. Here we go. Colorado State -7 at -108. All right, let's keep rolling. New Mexico State, Denver. New Mexico State opening up at -11, and now it's 11.5 at 5 dimes and across the board. But Pinnacle leading the way with New Mexico State, hanging at -12. And we know that Teddy Covers is on Denver plus the points. This total went from 129.5 up to 130. Max, take it away. New Mexico State, Denver.
Yeah, I agree with Teddy on this. We've seen New Mexico State obviously struggle without having A.J. Harris, their point guard, in the lineup. They just haven't been a safe team to lay double digits with. This is a game where I don't think that they're going to bring the same kind of emotion, considering that they've had games against New Mexico and UTEP the last couple weeks. I look for a guy like Terrell Brown, to really try and snap out of his shooting slump. I just don't see it happening. It puts a lot more reliance on Trevelyan Queen, and we've seen him have slow starts to games where he's been absolutely terrible in the first half and then's been on fire in the second. That won't work against this Denver team. They're definitely grimy. They play at a pace that really doesn't fit their personnel. I think that Denver wants to speed this game up. They want to get more shot attempts. They don't want to get sucked into New Mexico State's tempo, and getting to the free throw line is going to be critical for them tonight. I think that if they get to the free throw line against Mexico State team, they have a chance of staying within the number. Otherwise, this could be a very slim cover for New Mexico State. But either way, I'm not going to be making a play on the game.
No play on the game. All right, let's roll into the last spot on the card here. There is the Indiana-Connecticut game, but we already know that Max is on UConn, and I followed him with that move. Last spot on the card, Max, and you've completed the whole card, and you've done a spectacular job. Butler, Baylor, 18th ranked Butler going into Baylor. Baylor open up as 5-point favorites. They're now 6 at 5 dimes. There are 5.5s on the board, but there's a 6.5 at Pinnacle. Pinnacle pushing the way towards Baylor. This total opened up at 130.5. Now 132 at 5 dimes. Max, last game on the card, Butler, Baylor.
Yeah, this is a game that obviously everyone's going to be watching. This is probably my favorite game of the night. I think that you have a potent Baylor offense with guys like Maceo Teague, with Jared Butler. You got the big man Freddie Gillespie in the middle. I think that they're going to give Butler all they can goddamn handle tonight. But I look for Kamar Baldwin to step up and have a huge game tonight. He's coming off a 4 for 13 shooting performance. He's got to put in 30 if they want to beat this Baylor team. And I think that Baylor is definitely a quality team. Baylor deserves to be ranked. Butler definitely deserves it, but I'll say that Baylor's played tougher competition, and I'll say that Butler definitely is going to be relying a lot more on their bench. I don't know what the health of Aaron Thompson's going to be tonight. I thought that he got banged up in the last game, but he isn't on the injury report. But in the end, Baylor's going to determine whether or not they cover this game by how Tristan Clark is contributing. If Tristan Clark is not playing and the injury that he's trying to come back from is not agreeing with him, I think that Baylor's going to have trouble winning this game. I think that Butler is the spot for me. I liked it better at 6. I still like it at 5.5. And for that sense, I'll actually make Butler first half my official play for the show and my play of the day.
Ooh, we got to the play of the day. Butler first half, and we're getting 3s. Butler first half plus 3 at -110. There we go. The play of the day. Butler first half plus 3 at -110, and that is the play of the day, and I will be tailing that. Max, before we run through all your plays, and we got to put a bow on this, I got to go make bets, so we have to be quick. If you can be very quick with this, we're going to let Reese have the last question, and says, what does Max think about Michigan -1 tomorrow in that big game, Michigan-Illinois? What do you think of Michigan -1?
Yeah, it's a game where I think that Illinois comes out and wins. I think that Michigan definitely is going to have a little bit tougher time against Big Ten teams than they did against ACC teams. And I think that Kofi Coppin, he's going to be ready to go. And with Ayo Donomoso, whatever the hell his goddamn name is. I think that you have good penetrating guards that are going to keep Michigan's defense on their toes. If Michigan shoots the ball well, they win this game. But if you play Illinois' pace and Illinois' style of defense, well, you're going to end up losing.
All right, there we go. There we go. Max breaks down each and every one of these games. Shelby Richards looking at Northern Iowa, Penn State, Brown, Coppin State, Butler, Stony Brook, and Temple. I will have to decide if I'm going to bet Coppin State now that there's been the big market move. Teddy covers is on UConn plus 2.5, St. Joe's plus 12.5, Denver plus 11.5, and BYU minus 7.5. Matt Randall, Taint play of the days, McNeese State at a pick'em. He's also on Butler plus 6, Kansas minus 26, UConn plus 3, and Coppin State plus 17.5, as well as Boston College minus 6, and the Davidson Coppin State under 147.5. And then we get to our guy Sean Williams. Sean Williams on Maryland minus 2, Stony Brook plus 4, and McNeese State. Ganjapreneur, Tennessee State plus 5.5, Nevada plus 8, Baylor minus 6, Penn State money line, and says get money. Get money. Daryl Lyles is on UConn, Indiana over 139.5. And this is Max. Max on Penn State first half. Coppin State, that's a money line, minus 110. He's on Penn State first half and Maryland full game and pick'ems. Coppin State plus 17.5. UConn plus 2.5, Princeton under 138.5, Louisville first half minus 3.5, Monmouth first half plus 3.5, Notre Dame first half minus 11, Notre Dame full game minus 19.5, Towson first half minus 5, Tennessee State first half plus 155, McNeese State minus 1.5, UCF first half minus 5, Nevada plus 9, Colorado State minus 7, and the play of the day is Butler first half plus 3. I am on Coppin State plus 16.5, UConn money line plus 120, Princeton under 138.5 plus 100, McNeese State minus 1.5 and minus 110, and Butler first half plus 3. That is us. We have no show without you guys. Thank you so much. Casey Benji's putting 2K on the Flames over. Man, I'll be cheering for that heavy Casey Benji's. Big boy bets from Casey Benji's. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. We have no show without you guys, but we have an appearance from a man who hasn't been on the show in a little while, and I am excited about it. Max, my friend, spectacular job. Follow this guy on Twitter at Maxwell Smart 420 for his live bets and to get on these market moves before everyone else. And Jeff Billings has just gone on Twitter, so I'm glad to add you after the show. Perfect, Jeff Billings. And let me know. I'll keep an eye out for your name, but if I miss it, let me know. And Max, could you please do us the incredible honor of introducing Freddie Fortune?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, it's that time of the day where I get the distinct pleasure, something that God bestowed on me from high above, I get to bring to you, Freddie Fortune. Here we go.
Hi.
Hello. Freddie, welcome.
What did he say?
Very nice things about you.
Can you repeat it?
Just that he's very honored to be the man that introduces you. Come join us.
Well, I don't think so.
Why is that?
He's been insulting me on Twitter.
Well, at least publicly he's being kind to you.
Yeah.
At least publicly he's being very kind to you.
Yeah, well.
How are you? You seem like you're a little happier.
Yeah, you know that I love Asian women.
I did not know that. No.
Remember that I love Vietnamese women?
I did not know that. Is that true?
We talked about this like a month ago.
A month ago. Well,
Yeah, when I was talking about handball, I think.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember?
No, I have no recollection whatsoever. Does that mean that you're on a Vietnamese handball play right now?
No.
Okay. You just want to
I'm
share.
on a Thai because I fucking love Thai women and Japanese women.
Oh, wow.
So it's a draw. Yeah. This is for the floorball Women World Championship.
Oh, the women's floorball world championships. I'm surprised that this isn't being talked about more.
I'm not surprised.
No.
No.
Okay. Women's floorball world champions. Sweet. So this is just jerk off material for you, or do you actually enjoy the sport?
No, I enjoy the sport.
Okay. All right. What is your accent?
It's Thailand versus Japan.
Ooh, geez, that must make you hard as a rock.
Yeah. I mean, for my betting purposes.
Sure.
To draw at plus 450.
Plus 450 draw.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's a great play. But if you want a more realistic play, you can go with Japan and minus 120.
Oh, yeah, that sounds arousing, doesn't it?
But I like and like to go a bit further when it
Sure.
comes to Asian women.
Sure. We all know what that means.
Yeah, I love them.
All right.
Isn't it true, Rafa?
Yeah. Let's.
I discovered a gentleman's club the other day.
Discovered.
Yeah, I always like drive through the place and it says the real gentleman's club,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what it was.
No.
And apparently it's a barber shop mixed with titties.
What the hell? What? Where is this place?
It's near the Red Rooster. It's in front of it.
There's titties in that place?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a fact?
Yes.
Jesus.
It's like a strip club with barbershop.
What?
Yeah, you know.
Oh my God.
What the hell?
Well, I think I found my new barber shop. Could you?
I'm a faithful man, but yeah.
But your wife left you, so you can do anything you want.
But
Can
I'm
you-
still faithful to her.
Oh, makes no sense. Can you give us your play once more time?
Yeah. Thailand versus Japan. To draw at plus 450 at that 365, or you can go with a safer bet if you're a pussy. Japan minus 120 over Thailand at bet 365 too.
I'm on Coppin State plus 16.5, UConn plus 120, Princeton under 138, McNeese State minus 1.5, Butler first half plus 3, and in NHL, I'm getting after it. I'm on the under 6.5 in Montreal, Pittsburgh. There's no 6.5s available. Don't take it at 6. Chef, I need a haircut right now. I need I need one right now. Yeah, and Rafa needs one too. We all need.
Yes.
We're all gonna go for haircuts. Wild minus 1 at plus 107, and then my additions I love. Vegas minus a half. First period at plus 130, Vegas minus 1.5 for a big score. No, actually, it's not that big score, plus 133. And then I'm on the Kings minus 1. That will be a big score because the puck line's plus 205 and the money line's minus 120. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Can you give us a big lecture?
Let's go, please.
Yeah, sure.
Bye.
Yeah, that sounds good.